Hello, hello, hello. My name is Asmita, your IELTS mentor here at Vedantu, and today we are going to hack. Yes, we're going to hack the writing section. Don't worry, we ain't doing anything illegal. Ain't that crowd. But what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to give you templates that you can use and reuse in the writing section, which will basically do a lot of the dirty work for you, which means when you struggle to come up with a basic structure, when you struggle to come up with starters, when you struggle to give some sort of a body to your thoughts, that's when you lose marks in writing. I'm going to help you take care of all of that so you can devote your time into actually saying what you wish to say within that structure. I'm going to give you a skeleton. You obviously have to supply the flesh and the skin, all right, and the soul and the blood, but the skeleton, very important nonetheless, and quite difficult for students to come up with, okay? So these templates can be, like I said, repurposed for any different sort of a prompt, as you will see. And I'm going to provide you two, one for writing task 1, the other for writing task 2. So let's get right into it. Okay, so for the writing task 1, bear in mind, for the academic IELTS, it's going to be a chart, graph, table. All right, graph could be a line graph, a bar graph, anything. So some sort of data provided to you, you have to interpret it, you have to summarize it, and it's quite straightforward. So here the task response is quite easy. And I've told you the basic structure many times, but if you're watching this video or any video on this channel for the first time, first thing you need to do is subscribe, join the tribe. And second thing is, I will also go through the structure again, so don't worry, you don't have to go and watch any other video to understand that. All right, so the basic structure, as for any written piece of work, is going to be an intro, body, conclusion. But here, the task response is to interpret data, summarize it, very much like an analytical paragraph that you've had to do in 10th standard boards. So here, when you start with your introduction, all you have to do, like you've done many times in the past, is paraphrase the question. Obviously, the question is going to give you some sort of overview of what the data is. It'll tell you something like this bar graph shows this happening from the time this to that, or whatever. So you just have to rephrase or paraphrase it, and that serves as the introduction of your essay. So here's the template that you can follow for this. You can say the given, and then obviously choose what it is. Is it a graph? Is it a chart? All right. Accordingly, you plug in a word or a diagram. So I was making the right bracket. Anyway, so yeah, the given chart illustrates the what type of data. So here you can have multiple things. Maybe it's showing you a percentage of population. Maybe it's showing you the number of something sold. Maybe it's showing you the number of children who attended school, stuff like that. Okay, so you need to plug that in over here regarding and the topic over a period of, give the time frame in this location. Okay, so generally the essay will be, or the first task will be about something happening over a period of time. It could be a decade, it could be more, it could be less, whatever that time frame is, add that here. A lot of times a specific location is not mentioned. I think it's never mentioned, right? So the location would be something like in a city, in a district, in a country. So whatever that is, just write that down. In a city, in a district, in a country. Okay? All of this information here is supplied to you in the question. All you're doing is paraphrasing it. So you don't need very good writing skills to be able to do this. And that becomes your introductory paragraph. All right? Now, next thing you need to do is give an overview of the trends. And obviously there are going to be multiple trends. You all know how to analyze data through I mean, not only have you done it in English, you've also done it multiple times in mathematics. So I don't think any of you struggle with that aspect of it. So once you've identified the key structures, the key trends, then make sure that you are describing them using appropriate trend words. Alright, we've been through these lists multiple times. I will also give you another video where I'll give you a list of trend words that you can just use as a reference every time you're writing. Alright, so with those trend words, you are going to describe the overall trend. Bear in mind, it's going to be the overall trend. Alright, maybe it was in year 2010 that the most number of some gadget was sold. So that's your overall trend, that it was 2010 where the highest number of this particular thing was sold. And an overall trend can also be that since 2010 was the last year in your time frame, then the overall trend can also be that the sales have only increased over time, never gone down. So whatever the trend is that you can visually see from the data, you need to talk about it, you need to state it, but you need to state it using trend words only. Alright, trend words and just in general words only. Do not add data or numbers here. So the template for this part is, overall, it is evident that your first trend, while, so this could be most, least, highest, lowest, anything, right? So if you have two data points where something was the most and something was the least throughout, then you can mention that using this line. Or you can say in general, X increased whereas Y decreased over the period. Okay, so any overview that you have, you can use this template to put it into words. Next, we have our body paragraph, one where you present the first group of data, and here you're actually going to cite the numbers given in the graph. It can look something like in year or location depending upon what the graph is about. Data points stood at X, this figure rose or fell gradually to Y by the year so and so. So here, rose, fell, gradually, what are these? These are all trend words. So you have to keep mentioning the trend words along with your data points throughout your paragraph. Okay, make sure you are using trend words because that will add to your score. Lexical resource is a part of your band descriptors. It's 1 out of 4. And so the more trend words you use, the higher you will score for lexical resource. Then you will present your leftover data about the other things. So maybe you had 4 data points. So you have done the most and the least. Now you're left with this and this. So now you're going to talk about these two. Okay. So make sure you're covering. Make sure. What is happening? All right. Sorry. Make sure you're covering these as well. Don't just talk about the extremes. Talk about all the data that is presented, which is why you have your body paragraphs. Obviously, in the introduction, in the conclusion, in your general overview, you're just going to talk about the overall, that is the extreme trends. But in your body paragraphs, you have to mention the others as well. This shows your ability to understand the data comprehensively. Okay. So even though this is not most or least, you're still going to talk about these. And you can do it like this. On the other hand, group 2 experiences sharp slight rise. So whatever you noticed here, maybe there was a rise, there was a fall. Maybe it was stagnant, it did not fluctuate, it remained more or less the same. Whatever is observable from the data, you will mention that in your body paragraph too, along with other key details about it. All right. And then finally, in your conclusion, you're going to paraphrase the overview again. All right. If you've already used the word overall in the introduction, don't repeat it. You can use something like in general or to conclude. It is clear and evident that, and whatever your overall observation was, just write that down. Key things to remember for task 1, no using opinion words, no using first person. Everything is going to be in third person and you're only going to state what can be proven through facts. All right, you're only going to talk about things that have been explicitly stated. So if the bar or the chart tells you about the number of students who were enrolled in higher education in a particular city from this year to this year, you are only going to talk about, hey, it was really high in this year, then it dropped in this year. Even if you think that, okay, the reason why it dropped perhaps could have been that this was COVID year. That doesn't matter. COVID is not stated in the question. That's just some information that you have. In any case, most of this data is fictional, imaginary, made up. Okay, it's not rooted in real life. The point of this task is to understand if you can interpret and summarize data as it is. So don't put your theories, your assumptions, your hypothesis in there. That's not required in task 1. Similarly, in my opinion, it is good that so many students were enrolled in this year. Not necessary. No one's asking you if it's a good thing or a bad thing. This is just a factual representation of some visual data that is provided. Key things to remember, don't make these silly mistakes. And now we're going to move on to task number 2, which is generally considered more difficult. It is your essay writing task. The essay could be about an opinion discussion, problem solution, advantage or disadvantage. Okay? So maybe it could tell you that lots of people believe this. What is your opinion on the matter? Provide points for both sides. It could tell you that this is a problem. What is a possible solution for this problem? Why does this problem exist? How can it be solved? Some people think this A is better than B. Which do you think has more advantages? Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of both. So these are the different essay structures that you can come across in IELTS task 2. How will you write an essay? What's the basic template? Introduction again. Paraphrase the topic plus the thesis sentence, right? So the essay is going to start with some people believe that is better than What is your opinion on the matter? So that there's going to be a topic, there's going to be a statement that some people believe this. This is widely believed. All right, so that is what you're going to state here in your introduction. Paraphrase the topic plus the thesis sentence. Template can look something like, in recent years, XYZ has become a matter of considerable debate. For example, if your topic is climate change, has become a matter of considerable debate, all right? While some people believe that, what is viewpoint number 1? That it is not as serious as it is made out to be. I firmly disagree that it's not an important issue, or whatever the opinion is. All right, so this is just an example of how you can fill these points in. Okay, it could be about anything. Just put the topic there, put the viewpoint, say if you agree or disagree with it and why. All right, then you will go on to your body. Your body, paragraph 1 is going to present the first main idea. If you're talking about advantages and disadvantages, then body 1 will provide the advantages, body 2 will provide the disadvantages. If you're talking about two conflicting opinions, this will provide viewpoint 1, this will provide viewpoint 2. If you're talking about just one opinion, this will provide a statement of that opinion, and this will provide additional information about that opinion. Okay, so here, first main idea, one of the primary reasons for this viewpoint is that, and then you add the reason. For instance, you add the example. As a result, what happens? So here, remember that adding examples is a huge plus. Make sure you're doing that throughout the essay. And because this is an opinion essay, here you can add examples rooted in real life, okay? Unlike task 1. So these are very different tasks. Here you can also use your own understanding of the world and everything that you've read to sort of add to your opinion, because this is your opinion at the end of the day that you're giving. So you need to give viable, justifiable reasons why that is an opinion that you hold. So do that, add as many examples as you can. You can even cite sources if you remember them. If it was an article that you read in the Hindu, then you can cite that and say that this is one leading publication of India cited or if a university conducted a study that you happen to remember, then you can also talk about that. Otherwise, you can give your own examples that back when I was doing it, I observed. So your observations can also work as examples here in task 2 of the IELTS essay. Now body paragraph 2 will give the opposing view or second idea. Now the second idea will be adding to the first main idea, opposing view will be in conflict with. So here we can have a few different starters. For example, if the first main idea and the second main idea is what you're presenting, then in addition works perfectly fine. But if you have a first main idea and an opposing view, then instead of in addition, you can say on the other hand. All right, so you can play around even in this template with your starting sentences, starting phrases. For those of you who don't know about these starting phrases, I urge you to watch a video that I've made on this very topic where I'm giving you starting phrases for the essays. All right, so on you can use this, and then it is important to consider that counter argument. A case in point is, again another example. So you can see different ways of citing examples over here as well. For instance, a case in point is therefore, as a result, therefore, all synonyms. So many different ways. Don't repeat your phrases too much. Show variety. Show the examiner that, hey, I know all of these different phrases. I can write in a fancy manner. Make use of these synonyms that are provided here. Don't keep repeating for instance, or as a result and as a result, okay? All right, then if you think that the 2 paragraphs were not enough to express your thought in full detail, and if you think you won't hit the word limit, which is 250 words, then you can always add another paragraph if required. You can do this to either balance out the 2 conflicting opinions, or you can, if you have just been talking in favor of one thing, then you can add a 3rd paragraph to sort of show the other perspective a little bit, okay? That helps you give a balanced view on the entire situation. So despite the arguments above, it is also worth noting that this suggests that, so this will really help not only show the examiner that you, even though you have a strong opinion, which is a good thing, you are still able to understand the other side of the problem. So it will show you as a person with deeper understanding on all issues, which is always a good thing, okay? So this definitely I would recommend adding this, especially if you don't think you'll be able to hit the word limit. But either way, it really shows depth in your answers and responses and opinions. Now, finally, like always, there's going to be a conclusion where you restate your opinion and the main points. So to conclude, while there are valid points on both sides, I believe that state your position as it offers more. State the reason for your position, okay? I mean, you can definitely play around with the fixed part of the template, and you might have to, depending upon the topic, you might have to play around a little bit, but you can really use these as a basic skeleton for all of your essays if you're having difficulty starting. So if you just, every time you try practicing for the IELTS writing task and you just don't know how to start, where to start, what to say, how to say, then a huge part of that is because you don't have a structure in mind. Trust me, having a solid structure and just having to fill in the details really helps. And this will not come across as memorized or rehearsed because there are only so many ways in which you can say these things, okay? So don't worry, it won't come across as rehearsed. I've not given you a lot to memorize. You'll have to fill in a lot of points over here. Everything that is left blank or that is in brackets, you have to, it's not that you have to put a word there, you might have to put sentences over there, right, to actually fill out your essay. So you can definitely use this template. Don't worry about it sounding memorized or rehearsed, okay? And now, because you need to practice, here is a practice prompt for you. Some people think that online education is the future of learning, while others believe that traditional classroom methods are more effective. Discuss both views and give your opinion. So here you're going to have your introduction, then your body paragraph 1 is going to be viewpoint 1, body paragraph 2 is going to be viewpoint 2. In this case, your body paragraph 3 can be your, okay, what's happening? Okay, I'm just gonna let that be there. Your opinion and then conclusion as discussed, all right? So this is the structure that you can follow for this kind of an essay. Please try writing it, follow the template, let me know how easy it was for you to do this with the template in hand. And you can share the part of your essay that you like the most or your full essay in the comments. I would love to read them. And I can also give you corrections and feedbacks that you can benefit from. Feedback that you can benefit from. All right, so please make sure you do drop the best part of your essay. Maybe you like body paragraph 2 very much, then you send that. Or you can send your full essay, like I said. It won't just help me, it will also help, it won't just help you, it'll also help me, and it'll also help everybody else who's trying to prepare for the IELTS. It'll help you because obviously you're going to get feedback from me. It'll help me to design sessions according to your needs, and it'll help everybody else to see how others are doing and where they stand with respect to all the other people preparing for the IELTS. All right, so please do it. Thank you so much. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and those of you who are new here, please feel free to go through the entire channel. You'll find a lot of valuable content, and then I won't have to tell you again to subscribe because you will automatically. Like the video, share it with your friends, do your homework, leave it in the comments, and follow us on all our socials so you don't miss out on updates. I'm tired of talking now, so I'm gonna go. You two have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.